Welcome back to another edition of David Palmer's Drink of the Day. Today is Thursday. You've noticed that we've kind of cut back on our drinks of the day. Liver started to get a little swollen, so we had to let that back down a little bit. Actually, I'm joking. It just came to a point where we needed to just do a couple a week. So we're going to do one today. Tomorrow we're going to have a great drink. Tomorrow's drink is going to be called Wake and Bake, and you're going to love that. But today I have a great drink. Today is the Blueberry Lavender Bourbon Sour, and it's got some really neat ingredients, and I'll start this off and I'll kind of talk you into some of these ingredients. Some of these things I had to make ahead of time, but they're not hard for you to do, and I'll tell you how to do them. We start off this drink by putting 2 tablespoons in each of our glasses of blueberry compote. Now, blueberry compote's really easy to make. It's sugar and blueberries and a little bit of water in a saucepan, and just let it cook down. Now what will happen is those blueberries will release the pectin that will thicken up almost into a syrup, a little bit thicker than a syrup. So we're going to put 2, I'm going to do 2.5 in the bottom of each of these glasses of our blueberry compote. Compote, like I said, easy to make. These are fresh blueberries that we made. Put them in there with the sugar. Now we'll set this aside. That's a sticky mess if you spill it though. So be careful with stuff like that. And now it's just as easy as making kind of a sour with a little twist on our sour. Now, it's 2 ounces of our utilitarian Old Forester bourbon. For those of you out there keeping track, this is a little embarrassing. Quarantine COVID-19 bottle number 7 of Old Forester in the large bottle. We've done a lot of these videos, and it's not just me, I promise, that's using this bourbon, having this bourbon each day. So there's 2 ounces, but what are we doing? We're doing 2 drinks. 4 ounces of our bourbon. Delicious bourbon. Now, the next thing is a 1/2 ounce each of lemon and lime juice fresh squeezed. Now I've got 1 ounce of each because I'm making 2. This is a sour, so that's where the sour part comes from. And now here's the other thing. This is lavender simple syrup. I use a spice company called Penzeys Spices. There is one in Chicago. There's one in Indianapolis. When I drive through there, I stop and buy these. All kinds of spices that they make. But this is lavender, fresh lavender. So what I'm going to do with the lavender is I put it in water and I make a tea. Do not let it sit in the hot water for more than 5 minutes or it becomes bitter. So put your lavender into hot water, let it sit and steep for just under 5 minutes, and then strain the lavender out. Add sugar and cook it down to make a simple syrup. So this calls for 1 drink, it calls for a 1/2 ounce. We're going to use a full ounce of our lavender simple syrup. If you don't, this will be a very sour drink. Well, actually, I just poured 2, so let's just do 1/2 of that. There we go. And set that aside. So we've got everything in our shaker now. Let's make this nice and cold. Now, one of the neat things about this drink is that it layers out. So the person receiving that you're serving the drink to will see distinct colors in their glass. So now we're going to put ice on top of our compote in each glass. Now we want to fill the glasses as high as possible. There's a big reason for this. As we pour our drink in, we need the ice to slow down the progression of the pour so that it actually layers out in the glass. If we don't do that, it will mix the drink. And we don't want it mixed. We want it to be presented to our customer, person, whoever is taking it, as a layered drink. So there we go. We've got it nice and cold. We bring out our Hawthorne strainer here, and let's take these in slowly over the top of the ice. The slower you pour it, the more the ice will break up and cause a layered effect on that. You should see distinct layering, and I'll move these forward in a minute. We'll get a final picture of them. But the other thing we want to put on top of this, we always seem to short our second drink a little bit. Now we're going to use what I call cocktail caviar. This is a product that you can buy, but it's basically it is a caviared out alcohol in the center of each of these bubbles. So a little bit of caviar on top. Beautiful color that goes with this. And there you go. This is our Blueberry Lavender Bourbon Sour. Great drink for the spring and summer as these fresh fruits and start to come into being ripe. This is one of those drinks that I think would be a lot of fun to have at a party. People will get a big kick out of its presentation if you're serving something like that to them. So go ahead and try to make a Blueberry Lavender Bourbon Sour. Not too difficult to make, a lot of fun. Something that you can do. Love your family. Treat your friends well. As we start to loosen up our parameters on the quarantine, be safe out there. Don't be an idiot. And don't fall for all that junk on the internet. And have a bourbon.